Hi everyone, I am Smarty and I am back with another video on project management professionals, especially for all of you guys who are trying to prepare for PMP exam. So as I promised, I am going to pick up one topic from each chapter every week and discuss that topic in detail for all of you. So today's topic is project management life cycle. Let's get right into it. Before we begin this video, I highly request you to subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss out on any videos, and give it a thumbs up if you really like the content. Before we understand project management life cycle in detail, we need to understand what are the project management processes. At least we need to know the overview, and in my next video I can talk more about project management processes in detail. So let's have a look. This is the overview of project management processes. So it includes initiating, that means start of the project; planning, that means you have to plan each and every bit about your project; and then execute, which means do; and then monitoring and controlling the project, that exactly means checking and acting on it; and then closing down the project, which is the end of the project. So all these project management processes are highly effective if followed in these you can say interrelated way, in this interrelated way. So the project is officially approved in the project initiation phase, and as the project manager determines that whether the business case is met or not met, then a project manager does a high level planning. So I am considering that you are the project manager here. So if you see the business case can be met, and you do some high level planning during initiating phase to verify that it is likely that project can be completed within the given constraints of scope, time and cost, then officially your project is approved, and which is part of your initiation phase. Once the project has been approved, it moves from initiating to detailed planning phase, where you create the plan for how you will do the planning of each and every task which you have to complete, and how you will execute, how you will monitor and control, and then close the project. The project then moves into executing phase, in which the team completes the work according to the processes and procedures detailed in project management plan. While the work is being done, the work results or your work performance data are fed into monitoring and controlling to make sure the project is tracking to the baselines in the project management plan. If there are any variances from the plan that require changes, then change requests are evaluated. And most of the projects and most of the organizations have change request advisory board. It is a set of people who actually govern the projects and programs, and then they evaluate during the discussion, and in the perform integrated change control process, which is again part of monitoring and controlling. They evaluate to determine their impact on the project and identify best options for dealing with them, and decide whether they should approve those changes or they should reject those changes. Now, approved changes that don't affect the baseline, such as corrective actions, preventive actions, or any rework, are again fed back into execution phase, so that these can be implemented as a part of the project work. The implementation of these approved changes should help fix the variances. For approved changes that require adjustment to the baseline and the project management plan, a replanning effort must be completed. before the team can start working from new updated version of the plan and baselines in the execution phase. So this replanning effort is also done as part of perform integrated change control process, which is in monitoring and controlling process group. So once all the changes to the baseline are identified and the plan is modified, the revised plan is provided to the team in executing, and the project is again executed according to the updated plan. Then it is monitored and controlled to the revised baselines. If the project gets so far off the baselines that it requires an analysis of whether the project should continue at all, then it may move back into the initiating for that decision. So ultimately, when the work is done and every task in work breakdown structure is completed, then the project is closed. And when we close the project, there are a lot of lessons learned which can be used for further projects. So this is kind of an overview of project process groups, project management process groups according to PMBOK. So now that you have a high level understanding, you need not to bother if you're not able to understand each and every bit of these process groups. Just go through the information giving on the screen and then just try to have a high level overview and high level understanding of these process groups so that we can actually understand the process, so that we can actually understand the project management life cycle. Okay, so now let's have a look at the project management life cycle. We start with the discussion on project management life cycle, project life cycle. Let's have a look at this simple question which is on the screen. It says the project life cycle differs from the project management process in that the project management process, what would be your choice? There are 4 choices given. What would be the correct choice? So choice A is the same for every project. Choice B says does not incorporate a methodology, and choice C says is different from each industry, and choice D says can span many projects. So after discussing on the topics, we will again come back to the question and have a look at the question and then discuss the answer of this question. A life cycle is a progression through a series of developmental stages. For example, we humans have a life cycle, a product has a life cycle, like from its conception to its withdrawal from the marketplace. But there is also a life cycle of a project. So that's what we are going to look at today. For the exam purpose, you should understand the difference between a project life cycle and project management processes defined in PMBOK. So that's why we discuss the project management process before discussing the project life cycle. Both of these concepts are actually necessary to complete a project. The project life cycle is what you need to do the work actually, and project management process is what you need to do in order to manage your whole project and to manage the whole work of the project. The project life cycle is also sometimes referred to as the performing organizations or a department's methodology for projects. So every company have their unique way of performing a project, working on a project and going through different stages of a project. So this is a logical breakdown of what you need to do to produce the deliverable of the project. There are many different types of project life cycles depending on the type of the product being developed and the industry and the organization preferences. Project life cycle ranges from plan driven to change driven. Plan driven projects have predictive life cycle, sometimes also referred to as waterfall or traditional life cycles, that require scope, schedule, cost to be determined in detail early in the life of the project before the work begins to produce the project deliverables. So let's take an example. If you are building a house, so typically you need to have a predictive approach. You need to have understanding of the complete life cycle and different phases of planning and design, and then production, and how you will start living in that house. So that is an example of plan driven approach, which is sometimes referred as a waterfall or a traditional life cycle. Now let's look at the change driven projects. Change driven projects, on the other hand, use more iterative and more incremental approach. So these days you have agile life cycle, so that is a change driven project, where you have a varying level of early planning of the scope, schedule and cost. So incremental and iterative life cycles involve early planning of high level scope. It should be sufficient enough to allow for preliminary estimates of the time, cost, scope, and is developed little more with each iteration. Incremental delivers a complete usable portion of the product for each iteration. With iterative, the complete concept is built in successive levels of details to create the end result. Now, for example, a project to build a website using an incremental life cycle would involve prioritizing requirements into iterations that deliver a fully functioning portion of the website at the end of each iteration. To build the same project using an iterative life cycle would involve first creating a prototype of entire website. The basic skeleton of the site is built, and each successive iteration adds more detail and resonance until there is a complete, fully functioning site upon delivery. Note that the project may use a combination of incremental and iterative life cycle throughout the project or phases of the project. So adaptive life cycles involve fixed time and cost and scope, and is broadly defined with the understanding that it will be refined as the project progresses. Most of the customer's requirements are documented and prioritized in what is known as the backlog, which can be adjusted as the project progresses. What is planned is quick, brief increments, to allow the customer to embed that change they want and have the end product which they want to have. So these are the two ranges of a project life cycle. One is plan driven and another is change driven. Clearly understand project life cycle, let's have a look at the question again. The question was, project life cycle differs from project management processes. We all know that it is right. Yes, it differs in that the project management process is the same for every project, does not incorporate a methodology, is different for each industry, can spawn many projects. So I hope now you are clear that project management processes are always same no matter which industry you are working in. However, it differs from project life cycle. So the correct answer would be A. And So I hope you understand this thoroughly. In case you still have doubts, you can write in the comment box below. The project management process always includes the work of initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling and closing a project. That's why we discussed project management processes before understanding the project life cycle. I hope this is clear to you and the answer is also clear to you, because all the project management process is always same. This methodology is always same within any industry, and the work of these process groups may be repeated in different stages of the project. However, the process groups are always same. So a lot of people ask me, Smarty, well, how much time it will take for me to prepare for this exam? And my answer honestly is, it really depends on you. Because these days we are at home, we have full-time jobs and we have a lot of extra work at home, so you are able to dedicate only 1 hour or 1.5 hours for PMP exam study. I know. And honestly, when I prepared, I took good 6 months to prepare for this exam, and people who say that I cleared my exam within 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, I think they lie to you, because PMBOK itself is 800 pages. So you tell me, is it possible for you to go through 800 pages and understand all the concepts and remember all the formulas and complete all the exercises for each chapter and also do the mock tests? No, right? So definitely they lie to you. I would recommend that you keep a good 6 months time for your exam preparation, and just when you're about to give the exam, keep last 2 weeks for your rigorous exam preparation. Another important tip that I would want to give you is that if you have got PMBOK 6th edition with you, don't get tempted to go through the book. Yes, keep that book aside, because otherwise you will be very confused. Rather, I recommend that you go and buy Rita Mulkai's book, go through the book, go through each and every question behind each chapter, and make sure that you understand all the concepts, and then do the mock exam, and then start with your PMBOK. In the first chapter, a lot of project management related definitions are there, which I have already covered in my previous video. So if you have not watched the video titled 12 basic project management terms, I will put the link in the suggested videos and also in the description down below. I would also recommend that you go and watch my previous video if you have not done so, because there I have discussed all the project management related definitions, and there are total 12 terms that you must know. In my next video as well, I am going to bring you one topic which is very important, and we are also going to discuss the related questions. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends who are also preparing for PMP exam. All the best.